All right, so it is time. So this is the Infinite Game, and I talk about investments from the traditional stocks and real estate to alternative investments, from wine, sports cars, comic books, things such as that. In the next couple 2 to 3 months, I'm going to really be focused on TCG cards and also sports cards. So today is the biggest news that no one's talking about. So there's a doctor who died of COVID-19, and he leaves his family a sports card collection that's estimated worth more than $20 million. So for the doctor, his collection is all vintage cards, and these vintage cards are mostly a collection of baseball. So among his top cards is 1933 Babe Ruth card. That should be could be the most expensive card sale ever. The auction is actually starting on June 21st, and it ends on it actually ends on July 10th. So in a few more days, probably about 5 to 6 days from now. And also, like, I'm outside recording this, so you may hear some noise. Just disregard it and just tune into what I'm saying. So this guy is a physician from Tampa Bay, Florida. He's a neurologist and also a board certified psychiatrist as well. But he also has some other major cards that are really, really big. He has some cards dating back all the way to 1880, and he's been collecting cards since the 1980s. So if you really think about this, he's created a collection over 40 years. So he spent 40 years creating this collection that's worth $20 million. Now, I'm not saying that you should do this for longer than that, or as long as that or longer to create a collection. But what I'm saying is, long term, you're going to make money doing it that way, and you're going to lose a lot less money. And the only time he really sold cards is because he got the card in a higher grade. So this is a major lesson to everybody who's investing in, especially sports cards, but investing in general. Play the long game, because it's going to play out. Obviously, I know a lot of you are thinking, I don't want to die. I want to actually cash out on my investments. That's perfectly fine. If you don't want to leave it for your family, your kids, or whatever, your spouse, and you want to eventually cash out, still look at things long term. I mean, if you take care of yourself, you're going to live to at least 100. And if you're lucky, you're probably going to be 100 teens, maybe even break 120 with modern day technology, depending on what your age is now. So doing collections for 5, 10, 20, or 15 years is still not bad. And despite all the peaks and valleys and all this, you won't lose money. You're only going to gain if you buy the right cards. And he's buying vintage, and he's buying baseball. So that's something else to think about. You don't have to always buy baseball. You don't necessarily always have to buy vintage. But he's buying very valuable and rare assets. Some of his other cards is a 1952 Mickey Mantle. I believe that card is a PSA 8, a 1933 Goudey Babe Ruth PSA 9, and then I believe he also has a 1916 M101 for Sports News number 151, Babe Ruth number 6. These cards are extremely, extremely, extremely valuable. But also note this: he was a physician. He spent time, years developing a specific skill that netted him the money to afford these cards. Now, before, they weren't worth as much when he was buying, especially in the 80s, early 80s to, during the time of early 2000s. And cards have had a major upswing as of late, despite most of the markets being down. That's what you have to do. You have to put in your time and your money into the best cards, but also you have to build your skills. And the people who are doing the best in the sports card market, like the sports card investor Gary Vee or whoever, Nat Turner, or any of these big names, or even the people who created the Card Ladder app, they spent time developing certain skills first so they can actually have a job where they have the money to afford it. If you're just getting into sports cars, obviously that helps you learn the market, obviously. But if you do that, you have to understand that if you go straight into cars and you're just doing cards, you do have to understand that there may be times the market is down, times the market is up, and there will be long periods of time when the market is down. So that's just something to really, really think about. The other thing is, it was more of a passion kind of a thing for this person, and they just generally like collecting cards to begin with. So you should go after also things that you're more interested in, because you're going to spend the time and energy to get those cards. Also, this person was a frequent at the Nationals. That's how he helped build connections. That's how he, got some of the cards, going to Nationals, understanding and learning about the hobby. You have to be kind of a lifelong type of learner for whatever you're investing in, but specifically this. And in his collection, he had over 1,000 vintage cards, which is crazy to think about. Some of the cards he has: Ty Cobb, Lou Gehrig, Cy Young, and there's some other cards that haven't been mentioned. I haven't spent too much time looking at the auction. I've seen some of the cards, but I mean, it's just really crazy. And he's just a physician in Tampa Bay, Florida, right? Like, he's not this crazy celebrity or anything like that. That's something else to really keep in mind, and long term is going to pay off more than anything. And it's just this quick video I was trying to make, just to show you really what the rewards look like if you invest long term and you're smart about your purchases. And please comment, like, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. Do you like the fact this person had a $20 million sports car collection? And what do you think? Would you rather do short term or long term? Just message below. And thanks for watching.